Okay, guys, this is lesson 7 for alkene additions, and this kind of goes with what he was teaching today. So, hopefully you get it done soon so it's fresh in your mind. But let's get it started. So, I'm going to be referring to this chart while I go through here. And then again, I recommend keeping a notebook. This is actually one that I haven't figured out yet, but I have in my notebook what I'm going to try now. So I'm going to see if it works. If not, I'm going to write something else that I think I should try next. So that's been working for me so far, so I do recommend doing that. So with this one, the first time I just unbonded it like this, and I left it, and it kind of went wrong. So I figured that I would bond that over here and then move the hydrogen to the carbon. Okay, and then I'm gonna go back over here, and this is one we're working with, so I'm gonna look at this and see that it wants the hydrogen and boron to be syn. So they've got to be on the same side, and that's what it looks like. So, and I like to keep track of this because I don't want to get it wrong because of this, because then it's going to confuse me. So I always want to make sure that my stereochemistry is right. So when you do get it wrong, it's not because of that, because that's a simple mistake. And it leads to like a lot of confusion. So here goes nothing. Okay, awesome. Okay, I'm going to move it around because I like things a certain way. Okay, so for this one, I've been speeding through them doing the homework because I've been doing it a lot, but I'm gonna go over here, and what we have are our halogens. So I go down here and I see that it's going to be the halogenation, and it's going to be anti for the stereochemistry. So all I'm going to do is break that bond, add the bromine, add the other bromine over here, and then I'm going to move this to the top, move this over here, move this to the top, move this over here. Just to make sure that, nope, so you see how these are actually syn, but when we look here, we want it to be anti. So I'm gonna move this down and this up. Okay, so now that they're opposite, it will be good to go. Okay, I have my methyl cyclohexane, and then my ethanoic acid. Okay, and so now I'm just going to go to my chart, and I have my peroxyethanoic acid. So I see peracid right here. So what I'm going to do is epoxidation and make sure that my stereochemistry is syn. So this will give me a ring, like we were doing with the other homework with the epoxides. So all I'm going to do is remove this bond. I'm going to attach right there, and then I'm going to attach it over here. And let's see if I can get a better picture. Okay. And now I'm going to get that hydrogen just so that I know that ethane is actually a decent molecule, even though I'm going to wash it off. So it all makes sense, everything came together, these were all good to go, so I'll just delete them. And then I see that I have the stereochemistry syn, and that's exactly what we needed, syn. So that's good to go. And then you just want to make sure that all your molecules have the right amount of bonds or lone pairs just do the counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on my oxygen. Of course, our carbons have 4. Okay. H2O, NaOH. I believe this one only uses, so we're just going to use the H2O and add my hydrogens. And what I'm going to do is ionize that oxygen. And then I'm going to go over here. I have a hydrogen and alcohol. So hydrogen is my electrophile and my oxygen is my neutrophile. So I have my acid or my alcohol now, and then this, so it has a question mark, and we'll see why right now. It's a simple Markovnikov. Okay, it's a Marky Mark mixture. Simple, not anti. So I'm gonna leave it like that. And when we have just the simple mark one, the hydrogen's actually being added to here, but we can already see that because our hydrogen's on this side, on the left side, meaning that it's the electrophile. So it's going to be added to the carbon with the most amount of hydrogens. This is just like showing or confirming what we're doing. So I'll grab that hydrogen, and then now the oxygen, the neutrophile, will go right there. Nucleophile will go right there. Arrange, and then we see that it said anti question mark because these hydrogens are the same priority, so it doesn't really matter where this goes. The oxygen can go on top or bottom, it makes no difference. Okay. This one is super easy. We can go over here, and I kind of treat it like the hydrogen. So it's going to be syn. So all I gotta do is just break that bond. Add one of them over here. I don't know which one I added, so I'll arrange. And then I'll go ahead and add the other one. And we saw that it was going to be syn, so I'll try to move these so they're in the right position. Okay, so I got my 2 Gs on the bottom and then my hydrogens on top. It's the syn stereochemistry. Okay. Okay, so this is basically the same thing. I'm going to remove the bond, attach one of those, and then attach that one, and then I'm going to keep it syn. Move. Arrange. So just keep them the same way, they're both on the bottom. Okay, and then our molecule right there is kind of looks like, let me see my paper. I have a paper. Okay, they're all double bonded. I know the center one isn't supposed to be oxygen. It's supposed to be the other one, so I'll just put that. Okay, so for this one, basically what we're going to be doing is just, this one's going to be donating basically 2 oxygens. And let's see, I want to make sure I have it. Okay. So what we're going to do here is this one down here. So we're going to do dihydroxylation, which we're adding the two OH groups onto it, and they're going to be syn. So they're going to be on the same side. Can remove that. I'll add an oxygen, and then we're going to have to do a hydronium workup after this to add the extra hydrogens that we're missing. Okay, and let's see if I got the right electrons. No, the oxygen needs one more, but I'll just bond the hydrogen already. And I'll put that hydrogen there, and I'll go ahead and delete everything else. Okay, I've got that going on. And then lastly, I see that they are looking like they syn. Okay, so I want to make sure that it's the right, yep, so they have to be syn. And that should be good. I think I have the right amount of everything on there. I hope I do, but let's see. Okay, methyl. Ooh, I was hoping we would get this one because this is the one that was really bothering me. Okay, I'm gonna add my O3. I'm gonna add my hydrogens, hit arrange and fit, and I'm gonna move this. Not this, I'm gonna move this. Okay, let me take off that hydrogen because this is actually the molecule that we want. And I'm gonna take off one of these electrons because it had the wrong amount. Okay. So one oxygen is going to have 3 lone pairs, one's going to have 1, and one is going to have 2. Next, we're going to look for our ozone. So it's over here, ozonolysis. And then we just keep in mind like the syn, stereochemistry, and the most important part is the ring opening. So this is actually going to be opening this ring up. So let's start doing that. I'm going to move that bond, and let's see, I'm going to move it this way, and then I'm going to attach this oxygen to the carbon, and then I'm going to attach this one to this oxygen and release these bonds to the other oxygen. Hit arrange. And I want to double check and make sure that everything has the right amount of electrons. So I do see the stereochemistry, it is syn, because these two are on the top side. And make sure, yes, double check. And then it looks like all my oxygens are happy with the amount of electrons and bonds they have. Okay. So now what we're going to do is form some double bonds. So I'm actually going to, let's see, which one am I going to take? I can take this bond and do a double bond to that oxygen. And then I'm going to move it around, and I'm going to take this bond and do a double bond over there. Now this one can go ahead and grab those hydrogens if it wants to create water. So this is what I have so far, and if you've noticed that we are missing something, it is this hydrogen down here. So instead of drawing a hydrogen, I'll just go ahead and pull that one. Okay. So I've actually been getting this one wrong a lot. I'm really hoping it's right. It seems like the steps were done right, but we will see. I think before I was adding a CH3 instead of a hydrogen, So I kind of ignore this and I just work with the O3, the ozone. Okay, methyl cyclohexane. And then I have BH3, my boron. I've got my NaOH, add my hydrogens. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my chart and I'm going to look for something that's kind of similar. Let's see, I have boron. Okay, so I'm looking at my notes and it seems like we actually ignore the boron and treat this like if the hydrogen is with anti-mark, so the hydrogen would be attaching here and then our OH would be attaching here. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to release that bond. I'm going to attach that. Oops. I'm actually gonna... Actually, I think to do the whole thing, you do this first. So when you see the boron and the hydrogen, you attach the boron to the bottom. Like that. That's why the hydrogen ends up on top. And then this one comes in and attacks from the side. So I can go ahead and release this and then attach this. Okay, so that was kind of like a HO. So it says anti, that's not what it was. So this one for sure is going to be syn to the hydrogen. So I'll go ahead and try to switch these around. And then I'll go ahead and delete all these things on my canvas. Okay, so my hydrogen and my OH group are both facing up, and the other ones are facing the other way, so that should be good. Okay, and then I'm pretty sure the next one I'm gonna get is gonna be the one that I can't figure out. Okay. Okay, so this one on the chart is actually right here. So we're making a carbene addition, which means we're just making that double bond and like breaking this and then attaching it to here. So it'll be kind of like a triangle type thing. So I'll break that bond, take that lone pair that was on the carbon and attach it just like that. And then lastly, I'm gonna check and see, it should be syn. You always want to check, please, please, please always check, because one wrong placement of one of these and it leads to a lot of confusion. But I see they're both syn, so let's try it out. Okay, I think this was my last one. Okay. So yeah, I would keep that chart. It really did help, and get used to using it because I don't know if we'll need it for the test, but just in case, you'll know how to use it. So yeah, good luck.